Well, basically, and this has happened before. This is like the third time it's happened to me, um, where I've made purchases and some have been sent out, and then all of a sudden they suspend the account and block all access to the account, and any money that was paid into products or products that were supposed to be coming, they cancel those orders, and the money, instead of returning it to the debit card or to the bank account that I made the transfer from, they put the money for the return into a bank account that they hold, Mercado Pago. And their excuse for that is so that you can have instant access to your money. But it's not really, it's not legal. The law states very clearly that they're supposed to make anybody who gives a refund on a product they've sold. So basically what they're doing is, just to let people know about the whole kind of scam that goes on, is they're taking these people that might have vulnerabilities like me. I have an issue with my identification being expired, and it has to go through a process through the civil registry for me to get a new copy of the birth certificate that was lost during the digitalization process. So it's a long process, and it's almost over, but it's still been a long process, and I've been without a valid ID for like almost 2 years. But they look for these vulnerabilities with people, or people that have spent substantial amounts of money on the platform, and they will take this money and put it into an account at their bank, saying that, oh, the account's yours, it's your account, but it's in our bank, and we're not going to return it to your bank account. And basically what this does is it gives them control of the money, and it generates interest for them. They offer 15% interest yearly on any savings that you have in their bank. That's a lot of interest for a bank account. So if you can imagine, I don't know how many thousands of people could be going through this at the same amount of time. At the same time, they've got tons of money sitting there, like basically kidnapped, making money for them. And they do everything possible to not allow you to contact them. You can only contact them through the app and signed into your account. And if they've taken your access to your account, and then you make another account to be able to contact them, you're then in violation of their terms and conditions for making a second account. So they've made it impossible for you to call customer service. There is no phone numbers that exist for calling customer service. Writing them does no good. You get a automated response, even when you do finally get a hold of somebody through opening a new account and then becoming in violation of their terms so that they can keep your current account suspended for indefinitely. They still send you an automated response. I got lucky enough to speak to the head of security, the friend when I called, because this has happened to me before. And this time around, I started noticing things going on with my telephone. And I was ready this time. I installed certain applications that meter your wireless usage and your Wi-Fi usage, and their apps immediately, when this all started taking data from my phone. I mean, they would take on a normal basis maybe 1, 2, 3 megabytes a day, which is kind of normal for an app like that. And then all of a sudden, when this started going on, there were days where it went up to 170 megabytes of my data uploaded. And you don't know what data was uploaded, but their app has permission to your entire phone. It can do whatever it wants. It can turn its permissions back on after you've turned them off. So it's a very intrusive app. I don't know what information they took yet, but they took 170 megabytes one day, 120 another day. I uninstalled the app and I reinstalled it, and it again started taking data. So they won't let you back in, even though I've given them the expired copy of my credential, and I've given them my driver's license and all kinds of documents that any bank in the country would take in this kind of situation. Most banks will take your thumbprint. If you don't have your ID and you need to get a card, you can go in and put your thumbprint down, and you'll get your card or whatever you need. They'll work with you. And they understand. Mercado Libre doesn't, and it's because it's too lucrative for them to do this kind of thing to people. I mean, if you look on the internet, it's everywhere. People saying my account was suspended and they have my money. So I just want to get it out there. And the reason I talked to the head of security is I immediately told the girl that answered the phone, I said, I want to talk to your boss. And she was really rude. And I was like, I really just want to talk to your boss because this is going to have to go above you anyway. I mean, it's a management issue. And she's like, no, I'm not transferring you. And so I told her, I'm pissed off because your app is invading my privacy and I'm sure you guys are spying on me. Like I have one app that tells me when my microphone is in use, and it flashed on a couple times saying that Mercado Libre was using my microphone. The app was using my microphone at times when it shouldn't be using anything. So I pretty much let her know that my intention was to sue them for this invasion of privacy. And I don't know why or what provoked her to do so, but she went and got the head of security and put him on the phone with me. And he gave me the normal 2-minute spiel about, okay, well, you go ahead and go to your email box and find the email we sent you about connecting your data or whatever, and click that link, and through that link you'll be able to get into your account. And I believed him, so I said, okay, bye. I went and I got an email and I opened it and I followed the link, and no, it's the same. I put my ID in there and it's like, nope, your ID is expired. The last time I went through this, I had to call every single day for 3 weeks. And I mean, every day I spent like 4 to 5 hours every day calling them. And that was when they still had their number published on the internet. And probably I might be the reason why they furthered their restrictions, because I did call every day continuously for 3 weeks. And they finally were going to let the money go by me agreeing to send it to another Mercado Pago member, which I have a friend who was. And so I went to his house to have him help me with that. And I actually found a glitch in the app of Mercado Pago this night. They had set it up supposedly to transfer it out to my friend's account, and it wasn't happening. And I was trying to figure out how to get back, because I could get back into the Mercado Pago app, but I couldn't do anything in it. I could see how much money was there, and I just couldn't use any of the functions. And I figured out if I tapped on their terms and conditions, and then I tapped on another button that was available, and then I hit the back button, it would let me into my account with all the functions. So I snuck back in and got my own money out the last time. I don't think they would have actually transferred it to my friend's account. And I went down there and gave a whole bunch of private information, like his ID, pictures of everything, information that I don't think they should really be asking for. Most other sites don't. It's just, this is like the third time that I've spent more than like $1,000 on the site. And as soon as I get to that amount where it's above that $1,000 range, they take a hold of it if they can. And I know it's a big scam that they're making money with. And I think it's terrible that they don't offer any way for people to get a hold of them. It's a huge stress factor. Really, I think the stress factor is probably worse because, I'm like biting my nails. I had all my money in that other people's money. I was buying products for other people and they didn't get their products. So what? I guess I eat it. And then some of the products that did get sent out for my car weren't the right parts, and I still have them sitting here, and the warranty is about to expire on those. So it's a terrible, terrible company. They have no concern for people's rights or needs or their stress levels. I know that all that money they have in there is generating at least 15% what they offer their customers, but they got to be getting something out of it. So maybe it's generating 17%. I don't know, but it's a lot of money generating income for them. And I think it's a really bad thing to do for a company that's trying to become a bank here in Mexico. Can you imagine if they have become a full-fledged bank with those kind of practices, what they can do? It's really, and the whole thing about the app taking my data, when I noticed that it was taking my data, and like one of the comments the head of security made to me was almost like he was looking at my phone as we were speaking. And it was that it did get kind of warm, and that's when the whole data thing started. And it was like 3 or 4 different days after that where I was trying to call them, and I noticed that the app started using huge amounts of data. And it was just like, you can see on the app, it's like sending it up in the air. It's like a little demonstration or a drawing of little bubbles floating up in the air. And it was just like little Mercado Libre bubbles floating up in the air, showing that they were taking data out of my phone. Where were they uploading? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. And if I have a way to file a lawsuit, then I will. For them, it would be in their best interest just to pay me and get rid of me and have me happy, because I'm on a mission now. I'm totally on a mission. If I can find a way to take it public, and God help me to avoid them getting a banking license here, then I will. Because this is 3 times where they've left me with zero money, a hungry family, hungry myself. It's just not right. They don't care. They have poor attitudes. If you do get a hold of somebody and they have the worst attitudes, and they just don't care. They have this like protocol of how to get rid of you on the phone. And it's great because they'll transfer you one person who will make you think that the next person is going to help you. And once you've been transferred 3 times, you've been on the phone for an hour and a half. And sometimes they even hang up on you, just blatantly hang up. And then you got to go through the whole process again to get back in touch with them. No, that's against the law as well. The law states that they need to have clear access to customer service and clear access to what is their policies. But one of the laws here is that you need to have clear access to customer service, like a way to get a hold of customer service. And they don't because they probably had so many complaints that they just can't handle it. What else? I just read their employee reviews of employees that have worked for them. It's terrible. They have horrible reviews for their employees. They cut corners with the law, like by firing, by only hiring them temporarily and firing them right before the cutoff date, where they would have to give them like certain benefits. All the employees complain about overtime not being paid, blatantly just saying you need to work these extra hours and you're not going to get paid for it because if you don't, we're going to find somebody else. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible company. I can't even imagine why the government lets them keep on running. Well, it's all corruption on that level. So somebody's getting paid off. And who suffers? Us. That's all.
He said if you report this to the police, I'll have your family killed.